Good day, everyone. Yes, it's still the unusual me. Basically, I have some things now that the Christmas is over, and I'm not going to be treading under anyone's feet. I got a couple of things that I need to get out of the way on a video and explain to everybody, because I think in my emotional flop, I rather worried a lot of people, and that deserves explanation due to the enormous concern that I've mustered up among the community. So out of respect for you, your intelligence, and just generally out of respect for the community that we have built together, I need to start by saying something that I don't normally say. Hi. So, yeah. Here we are. 1, my hair does not normally look like this. I'm aware it looks absolutely terrible at the moment. That's mostly because I'm in a stage show, and long story short, I'm playing a character from the 60s who's kind of a massive Andy Warhol fan, so I'm growing it out to look a bit better for the part. Also, if I look sort of over there, that's just because I'm checking the preview of the feed. I have never done these sorts of things before. I'm absolutely awful at them. So I hope you understand that this is kind of rare. Second point. Merry Christmas to everybody, or belated Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, whatever the fuck you celebrated in the winter area, happy that, okay? Just be happy. And the third, which is the most important, is that this is the first of two, I'm going to say 2 videos, one of which is going to be a bit, well, as this is, quite sort of serious-ish, and the other one's going to be a bit happy. I've got some channel announcements to make and general back to usual production stuff. But the main thing that I wanted to do is assure everybody that I, funnily enough, am not dead. I know that some people thought I was, and I'm very touched that so many of you were concerned. I'm kind of worried that so many of you thought I was going to kill myself, but I am genuinely touched that the sheer amount of concern from the community. And I know I say that a lot, so I'm here as me, and I'm here in person so that it's kind of more obvious that I actually mean it. I know some people can act it up and ham it up that I love my community so much, but yeah, you guys really did. You really do mean a hell of a lot, and you deserve an explanation for why suddenly the guy who is usually sweetness and light just poofed out of existence one day and sounded like his world was falling apart. This is where it gets harder to talk about, because effectively that is what happened. There was about a couple of weeks before I disappeared of weirdness on the channel, and some of you already noticed it, and I apologize for it several times. One guy even asked why I was being so apologetic. But yeah, so videos weren't going out on time, or they weren't coming up at all, or I just couldn't record that day, and what a lot of it boiled down to is my family. And 10 minutes before I made the video where I had to disappear, we had the call that my dad has cancer. So obviously I wasn't in really the best state. I just got off the phone and I was a complete bloody mess, but one of the first things that I wanted to do after I rang my best friend and had an enormous just breakdown over the phone, the first thing that I wanted to do after that was make sure that I did exactly as you guys kept telling me to, and I took the time and I made sure that there was going to be no commitment for me to try and do OEM business while I was, because I've been juggling it, because as I've kept saying in all the comments and all the videos, that while there was potential that this might have been what it was, obviously we as a family wanted to focus on being very normal, and making YouTube videos for you guys is part of my normal. I'm sorry that this is going to be a quite rambly video, but I just need to let this out in a raw state so that you get properly what this is. Now, not all of you are going to know, because I know we've had a lot of people who've joined recently, but not a lot of people are going to know that I really deeply love my family. And they are some of the most important people in the world to me. So, to hear that I've hopefully, and this is on the maximum end of the hope. I mean, obviously, the problem with cancer is you can never predict anything, but doctor prognosis anyway was that even with chemo and even with all the help in the world, I've probably only got a couple more years with him, with my dad. And doubtless somebody somewhere on the internet is probably going to call me weak someday for this, but I'm 22 years old. I don't want to lose my dad. I don't ever want to lose him, but I really don't want to lose him far sooner than I was expecting. So I stepped back, and I spent the last month or so just in depth with my family. I've done other things as well. I've stopped work for a time so that I can spend more time with them. I've also the entire reason that this video is being made is because the entire reason that this video is being made in this manner is probably what I should say, like actually being able to see me, is because I have moved again. Yeah, I know. Pretty much, a couple of days after we got the news, I decided that it was going to be more important. If I've only got so much time, then I want my day-to-day time to be with them. So I've actually moved back home now. This is my old room. I know you can only see a small corner of it, and that's intentional because it is currently full of every single cardboard box that I own, and most of my possessions are scattered about the place. I'm still moving in. Yeah, I'll probably still be moving in for a very long time. But, yeah, at the end of the day, that's how things are now. And I want you all to know that we're very happy, and we're very normal. We're just getting on with it. That's realistically all you can do when something like this happens. The weird thing about this sort of thing happening is that it gives you a really odd sense of how temporary everything is. That bad things are temporary. If you're angry, it's just going to move on. If something has pissed you off, probably chances are you'll never see it again. But the other thing is that good things are temporary too, and you should take the time to love them for what they are. And that's not always possible. And it is always very difficult. But you should try nonetheless. That's something that I've learned recently. Mainly because, as well, I have a lot of regrets that I want to fix in the next couple of years. Well, not fix. You can't fix everything and you can't fix what's already happened, but you can make up for it. Or at least try to. I'm a human being. I've not always been the best that I can be. Hell, I've been a kid. I've been a teenager. I've been many things that I will never be able to quite apologise for. But I, like so many people I think, have taken others for granted and said or done stupid shit that I never should have bothered with. And more than anything right now, I just want to be a good son. And I want people to know that there will be a good son left behind. Not the lazy waste of space that I can be sometimes. I'm not saying that I am that now or that I have been recently, but sometimes I have been, and sometimes I've argued like everybody does, and sometimes I haven't done things right. And I know that nothing will ever make up for that entirely, but I do want to try and assure a better future. One where I'm not unstable, one where I'm not flaky, where I'm not petrified to pick up the damn phone. I just want to be better. And weirdly, part of that actually ties in with YouTube. I know. strange. And there's at least going to be one person typing right now as I'm saying this that I should be focusing on family and not YouTube and da. Well, actually, they're absolutely right, in a way. I was going to stop, at least temporarily, like for a year or so. I was going to go and do the normal job thing. I was going to work a retail job or whatnot in the day and do my editing in the evening and try and take down 2 jobs, try and make a decent amount of buck and do whatever I can. But that is not what's going to be happening, because I am not entirely just doing this for me anymore. I went to my dad and I asked a question that I really don't like asking and didn't want to hear the answer to, but at the same time wanted that to be the answer so I would have justification for going off and throwing away what I want in favour of what's practical. But instead, after I asked Dad, what should I do with myself? What would you like me to know? What would you like to know that I will be doing with myself for the future? Do you want me to go off and get these jobs? Do you want me to what? And cheeky bastard goes and says to be happy. He wants me to be happy over being practical. There are obviously some things, like I'm still going to need to do some of my normal job to keep bills paid and whatnot, but mostly the family is going to be alright. So he wants me to try as damn fucking hard as I can to do whatever the hell my dream ends up being. Mostly because he never got to do his. And so I really want this to work, and I'm going to force it to. And if it doesn't work within a few years, and I can say that I've given it a damn good try, and that I have done justice to the privilege that's been given me, then I'll retire. But until that day, I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to make it bigger, more bombastic, and just generally more beautiful than ever. Because if I'm going to do this, then I need to do it right. Not just half-arsedly, because that would, frankly, be an insult to somebody who means a hell of a lot to me. And I want to come back before New Year. This has been really hard to time, this video. I've been trying to figure it out. I didn't want to make it before Christmas because then people will be worrying about me over Christmas. But I do also want to make it before New Year, and enough before New Year that it doesn't make some people worried over New Year, if that makes sense. I know that sounds horribly selfish to be assuming people would be worried about me, just a random hermit from, well, sitting in a corner of a bedroom. But, yeah. I know that some of you really do have some deep concerns, and I just want to make sure that everyone knows I'm fine. And that I will be back. And that will be what the happier of these 2 videos is. So I'm not dead. I'm coming back eventually. There'll be a happier vlog update, whatever this is, video. And yeah. We'll be okay. Everything will be alright. We all know what we're doing. We're not doing anything stupid. Please don't worry about us. Love you all. And farewell.